Welcome back, Smart Start Radio family. Before we get into our latest amazing episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor. With spectacular hotels, amazing theme parks, and unparalleled entertainment, Universal Orlando Resort offers a meeting destination unlike anything else in the world. Greetings and welcome once again to Smart Start Radio, everybody. I say this a lot every episode, and I know it's getting a little bit old, but this is a very special episode. On the one hand, we have Malik Anderson, our digital manager, who agreed to come back again after his first time in this podcast, which I wasn't sure if he would come back because I wasn't sure if he liked it, but he did. So yay.
I loved it. Great to be back.
I'm glad. It makes me happy. And secondly, which is another great news, is we have a new member of our team, David Lytle, our senior editor for Smart Meetings. He's just started, he's brand new, and he wanted to be on the show, so we had him on. And we're super excited to have you here, David.
Thank you. Nice to join.
Is there anything you want to say to our, because it's like your first 3 weeks, 2 weeks? Who's counting at this point?
2.5. I think it's, what is it, day 13.
Okay. Is there anything you want to share with our podcast world that we have?
No,
here?
I'm just, happy to be here.
Okay, no problem. So following our last conversation with Malik, I wasn't sure if we recorded that, but we talked about what else we could talk about for our coffee chats. One thing we talked about was how we pack for fam trips. And that's kind of a big deal for us because we go on a lot and the people who use us as a reference also do. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to explore fam trip packing and, essentials, things you do to help you with the process of what to bring, what not to bring, things like that. So since you both have been on trips in various forms, whether for work, for fun or whatnot, what's your first thing you have to have when you go on a fam trip or work trip?
So aside from, extra pairs of socks and underwear and all that, I think when I mentioned that in our obsessions in our magazine is the charging pad. I feel like that's pretty helpful. I mean, if I'm not near a charging source, having that has always been pretty helpful.
True. Yeah. Which one do you have?
The Mophie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think I have the same one as you then. I think I do. Yeah, those are essential, especially when we're out. A lot of times we don't get to go to our hotel rooms very often.
Right. When you don't have a break and it's so a 12-hour day, it's very helpful to have.
So it's venue, sort of break, but not really. venue, dinner. So those are always very helpful. But is there anything else that either of you find essential or think you'll find essential for your future? I think Baltimore, David, is that where you're going next?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you... Okay, is there for you, granted it's probably not super near, but what's something that you feel is essential for you just to survive your trip?
Well, first, I always start with a list. I write everything down that I think I need to pack. This started as a child because growing up in the Midwest, like most Midwesterners, you have a lake house as well as your home. And so every weekend we would go to our lake house. My dad was a steel worker. When he was done working, he wanted to go fishing. So that was the focus of our family life, was our lake house. And we were responsible for packing our own stuff. Even as a first grader, my mom was very much you're doing the job. So we had to write a list of everything we needed to pack. And I have always followed that rule so that I can look at it and go, oh, how many days am I going to be there? I need, X number of socks, X number of underwear, and extra. I always had to pack an extra set of clothes in case your original clothes got soaking wet because you fell on the lake.
So you're a vet in this then, you have a whole system down.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get all those items out. I fold them, I put them on my bed and look at them, and then I remove 3 items.
Oh, wait, how do you decide which 3?
And why 3?
Just because I overpack and I know that if I take 3 things out, I will have more room in my carry-on.
And even with the 3 removed, it's still enough. I guess.
Yeah. I don't need 3 pair of pants. I need 2 pair of pants. They will do. And as you know, when you go on a FAMS, because you're hosted by somebody.
Right.
There's always that element of swag that is part of the trip.
Right.
And whether you want it or not, you take it. It matters what the trip is,
Right.
I was in Louisville one time for a bourbon festival and ended up with a lot of bourbon. So,
right. Yeah. Wait, so do you check your bags usually or no?
No, I usually do carry on. In that case, though, I put all that stuff in a box and shipped it because you can't really.
Right. Okay.
Can't really take 6 bottles of bourbon onto a plane.
Yeah, that might get you flagged by TSA, low key. Yeah. How about you, Malik? Do you check?
I don't. I never check in. I always carry on.
Never?
Yeah, I've never checked in. Well, except for those times when like the bags are at capacity, and you have to check it in at that point. But I normally don't, just because I don't like having to wait when I land. I just can't prefer to have everything on me.
When you get swag,
so going back to David talking about overpacking, if I'm like on the opposite end of that. If I do anything, it's probably underpack. So I typically have at least like enough room to stuff everything in there. And totally not on purpose. That's just kind of my personality type.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, so I guess my question is so we get like a list usually of how our week's going to go when we're on these trips. And for me, I have to think about do we have a dinner? Do we have do I have to wear certain things throughout the day, weather wise? And so that always adds up for me. I know it's different if you're a man or woman, it's kind of, in that respect, do you is there ever an instance where you are packing more because of the itinerary, or is it just usually just the same kind of situation for yourself?
If it's a fancier dinner, then I'm gonna have to pack a couple more coats, in which case I just take my backpack and I put a little more stuff in there. But even both of those things I still carry on with me. I just have 2 little bags, 2 little suitcase and a little backpack.
Yeah, if you're gonna have, if you need a sports coat or a jacket of some kind for a dinner, I would wear that on the plane. So that I'm not putting it into a bag and I'm not folding it up and getting it wrinkled.
Yeah, see, in that case, I'll just use the iron or the steamer that's in the hotel. But there has been one time where there was no steamer or iron, and I kind of just rocked with it anyway, and it was fine.
Are you saying there wasn't in the room?
Right, it wasn't.
The hotel didn't have it at all.
So it wasn't in the hotel room. And I kind of do everything last minute. So I kind of took everything out at the last minute. I didn't have any time to contact the hotel to get the steamer or anything. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
When you get into your hotel room, what do you do with your clothes?
That's a good question.
I've heard things that planners do, or on trips. I've heard people, they put everything in the closet. I leave everything in my suitcase, and I kind of take everything out day by day.
Yeah, same. I do a lot of that.
Hang everything up, put it in drawers.
Really?
I use the bottom drawer of a dresser as the dirty clothes basket.
Yeah.
So that I know that it's don't wear those socks again.
Right. That makes sense. So wait, since you guys both, you don't check luggage, so are there any hacks you guys use for making sure everything fits in your... Because Malik, I know how small your luggage is. And we all talked about how cute and small it is, so I know it's not huge. So do you have any hacks to make things fit easier, especially when you have the stuff from the fam trip when you come back? Because I know I have to roll stuff up, I have to squish things down a lot, but... Do you have a method that...
Yeah, no, it's not really a hack. It's it's the not packing very much. And I fold all of my clothes, so it's a little more compact. But it is a lot of stuffing. Yeah, for the most part. Or if you have a bag with all the swag, I'll take the bag with me too and just carry it. Yeah, there's no hack at all. It's kind of just going with the flow. But it always seems to work out somehow.
One thing I'm curious about is because it's usually these are work trips and we have to we're there for smart meetings, we're there to do work, but there's often the weather can be different depending on what you're doing. How, when you're packing your outfits, do you pack a level of I'm going to wear something that's comfortable one day or not? How do you kind of rank in your head when you're packing which shirts or whatever you're packing that is is there a level of I feel I'm happy in this outfit, or I'm I look like I'm here to work kind of outfit? Where do you fall on the spectrum of that?
I think it's easier for men.
Yeah, I know. It's really for me.
Yeah.
But I still want to ask you guys.
No. I think it's easier for men. I mean, you and I had this conversation when we were just discussing this topic. And I was like, nobody's going to care if I wear the same pair of khakis for 2 days in a row. It's a neutral and it's not the focus of the trip. But you said, that's not the rule for women because the expectation is that, you will have outfits. I tend to, when I'm not working, I tend to wear the same thing that I wear when I am working. It is just, I wear collared shirts. I envy that. It's just always been my style. I mean, on the weekend, like if I'm in the garden, it's like, t-shirt and shorts, but.
It's a solid way to operate. How about you, Malik? I'm probably the same answer, but.
No, it's true. Like thinking about the difference between packing for personal and then packing for a fam trip, I think the only difference might be a sport coat. Like it's the same for the most part. And it's always kind of the same clothes. I mean, same as David, I tend to wear like the same pants. At least 2 out of the 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Yeah. There was one trip that I went on recently and I actually forgot my slacks and I just wore my jeans with the sport coat. And then I kind of learned that it was a style that I hadn't previously tried out. I learned something. Yeah.
Accidental style discovery.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Accidental style. Perfect.
That's actually really cool. Yeah, I guess one thing I'm curious about in terms of like the packing process is like for me personally, like I need my headphones on the airplane or else I will go mad. So is there like one thing that you guys like utilize when you're like that you have to pack that you cannot forget at all, or else it might like kind of low key make you mad when you're on the plane for however many hours you're on there? If not, it's fine, but I just thought I would ask that question.
I mean, I've never forgotten my headphones. I would imagine forgetting them would suck. I mean, but in which case I'll probably just buy some at the airport, but it's never fun to buy.
I have done that once headphones. And I was really upset at myself.
Yeah.
I've been there and like forgot headphones and had to buy them or forgot a charger.
There's so much though. They cost so much at the airport and they're not even that good.
Right. No, you're a captive audience, literally.
No, yeah. They upcharge you, which is kind of hilarious. One thing that I love to do is I like to look through like where we're going for when I get sent out the list of where we're going. Do you guys ever like research where you're going, or like do you just kind of like you just want to like as it goes? This isn't really about packing so much, but I'm curious about this. Like do you research the spots where you're going to be at ever beforehand?
Always.
Okay.
I mean, I come from travel guide world because I was at Frommer's for so long.
Okay, yeah. Right.
And so when I was traveling for Frommer's, I would always, I would look at our guidebook. And there were things that I would need to, see if it was still current. One of the things I typically do for any sort of fam is I look at the itinerary and then I request a block of free time. Because there are things that I need to explore specifically. It will be different for smart meetings, I assume, because I'm going to be looking at, meeting spaces. That's a lot of what the focus is going to be. But I still want that free time to be able to sort of lead into the leisure aspect of like, if somebody's coming here for a convention or something, what is there to do that's off-site that, like what's a food item that I need to try that I might not have been exposed to before? Like there's an opportunity when you're on the ground someplace to learn something beyond like the meeting space.
This is a random back segue, but like for shoes, do you guys have one pair that you wear or do you bring extra pairs? Because I know for women, I don't try to bring more than one because it makes my thing so much heavier for my bag. But do you guys operate that same way or how does that usually work?
I mean, I have a pair of Birkenstock slip-ons that I kind of wear everywhere. That's mostly for the airport and getting around. And then I have loafers that I wear to all like the fancy dinners and all that. And if there are things like a hard hat or there's going to be like more adventurous stuff, I tend to have like a pair of Converse with some sneakers. So 2 or 3 pairs.
Okay. That's smart.
Yep. Dress shoes and then sneakers. Some sort of like,
nice.
Something cool that you can like.
Something hip.
Yep.
Speaking of shoes, Speaking of shoes, we are all going to IMEX this year, which is a new thing for the editors of Smart Meetings. That we're all going to be there, not at the same time, but throughout the week. So we should be there like at least 1 or 2 days. And so I am curious, like, because it's a shorter trip, but, we might need more things despite it being a short trip. Do you guys foresee your packing being different for that particular trip? I mean, Malik, you live in Vegas, so I know it's not like you're not packing anything, but you're traveling from point A to point B within your own city. But is there anything that you guys, would need in that space that would be essential to you, like being able to be successful and happy and comfortable?
I mean,
walking shoes.
Yeah. That and the packing's the same. Same suitcase.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm in the market now for a new pair of Allbirds. So
okay.
They look nice. You can get them in like jewel tones, or you can get them in just like neutral colors.
That's
pop
fancy.
of color is always sort of nice. But
is this in
really
preparation for IMEX?
Yes.
Got to break those in soon.
No,
you're going to be walking the floor.
Their tree runners are absolutely comfortable.
Okay.
Like, put them on and it's like walking on a pillow.
That's a solid line to sell people with. They should hire you to do their marketing. Well, is there anything that we didn't cover that you guys want to talk about? Because I feel like
you had sent a question about like packing for the destination and like what you might have forgotten.
Yeah.
The first time I went to Seattle, I failed to pack a raincoat.
Oh, yes. I recently had that issue. But I had a raincoat, luckily.
But, you don't want to incur extra expense, but at least, I mean,
right.
When you're traveling, there are malls, there are stores. You can always pick something up if you need it, but the idea is to not have to do that.
Right.
So I had to buy, I went to REI and bought a raincoat.
Hey, REI is a solid place to go get a raincoat. Yep. So that was a good idea. Malik, anything else you want to throw into our coffee chat?
You kind of
we haven't talked about.
You asked a few questions that you also didn't answer. I mean, so for you, what have you? Have there been anything that you've forgotten?
I'm very good at that, aren't I? I'm sorry. What?
Have there been
what was the question?
What have you forgotten, like during a trip, and what was your fix if it happened?
My headphones. That was the biggest one, because I was realizing that I didn't have it and I had to go buy one, and I was just upset that I had to spend like $40 on one that I didn't even work that well, didn't feel comfortable in my ear. But my greatest save recently was when I was in Florida, and someone mentioned, and I brought a rain jacket just in case. And luckily I packed it that day that I was out, and I was outside. All of a sudden I heard this kaboom and the sky just opened up. And I'm like, oh, I have a rain jacket. I was so excited. I was like, and everyone else was just like cowering under things. And I'm like, I'm fine. And I just started walking totally drenched, but like slightly protected.
Yeah.
I felt very smart. The one time I felt really smart on a trip was that moment. For shoes wise, I typically pack 1 or 2. If it's like gonna be like not cold or hot, I usually just wear 1 pair of shoes and I'm not someone who wears heels. I learned earlier in my career, if my feet are unhappy, I am unhappy. And so I'm like, I'm not doing this to myself anymore. Like, I will look weird. I will look like a tomboy, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. It's a bad thing for everyone near me to have to experience. Did I not answer anything else? You clearly were keeping track. So if you want to throw a question at me.
I just noticed a few things.
I know. I avoid things. I'm very good at that.
You check your luggage, Eming?
Yeah. Well, mainly because I sometimes get things that I can't bring with me on the plane. Like I'll get like a drink or like a bottle or something. Yeah. And I just don't like the hassle of having to put it up on the thing, and I might whack someone in the head. I once accidentally hit someone with it. Or not hit someone, like not like in a like smacked in the face kind of way, but I felt bad. I'm like, I don't want to do that again, because I feel like I'm also very klutzy. So I just want to avoid that. So even though it takes more time, I would just rather just have 1 bag with me on the plane and then just get my luggage. And I haven't had any issues with that so far. Knock on wood. There was wood
to knock on.
Yeah. So traditionally, no. I might do it for IMEX, depending on, since we're only there for like 2 days, I might not need to check one. But we'll see. Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, you should only have a carry-on for IMEX, seeing as how I think we're going to be there 36 hours each.
Snap of the finger and we're out.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we didn't talk about that we want to cram into this coffee chat, which went by speedily, by the way?
It was quick.
It's easy having conversations.
Well, in that case, thank you both for showing up. I hope that we have more of these because this is actually really fun. I enjoyed this.
Great.
And I hope our audience too, and I hope our accountant Diana enjoyed this as well. We got feedback on the last episode, so I want to make sure that she enjoyed this episode as well. But yes, thank you again for both being here. I hope you guys both come back, or I hope you both want to come back and have more talks like this because this is really fun for me. I don't know if you guys also had fun, but I did.
It's been great.
So, but yes, we'll see you guys next time on Smart Start Radio.
Great. All right. Bye.
You've been listening to Smart Start Radio, a Smart Meetings production. Interested in being our next guest? Connect with us at editor@smartmeetings.com.